Okay, I have a question for you. How much time are you spending in indecision and trying to decide? It's just what it is, right? How much are you spending in indecision? So listen, guys, I used to think I didn't have enough time. I constantly felt an overwhelm, never felt as far along as I should be, focused on endless tasks that seemed to never produce any results. Here's the thing. Eventually, I realized the issue wasn't that I didn't have enough time. The real problem, but I was wasting so much time in indecision. So that's what we're going to talk about in this podcast, and I'm excited. So make a decision. Listen to the rest. All right, I'll be right back.
Welcome to the Business Success by Design podcast, where you'll learn everything you need to know about building a thriving business. This isn't theory. It's hardcore strategies and tactics designed to help you win. Join us as top business coaches, marketers, and business insiders pull back the curtain on what really works in building the business you want and what's just complete BS. You'll get the inside track on how to connect with your audience, build long-term relationships, and be seen as the go-to guy or gal indoor space, all while driving insane profits for you and your business. And now, sit back and listen to rockstar host James Lawson, he's the one with a funny accent, and Angela Inzerillo as they go deep, cut through the crap, and get to the core of making your business work for you.
All right, guys, James Lawson here. Thank you for tuning in to the Business Success by Design podcast. We are now on episode 6, and I'm excited that we're just getting this thing cranking along. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about indecision, right? Indecision. What is it? Why is it harming your business? Why is it harming your ability to get things done? So, we call this the first horseman of limitation, right? There are several horsemen of limitations. Indecision is a biggie, right? It's a biggie. It's one of those things I guarantee that if you could eliminate this, and you can, you are going to be far more productive, guys, and far more consistent in the action that you take. So, the most important question I think that we need to ask ourselves is what actually causes indecision, right? What actually causes indecision? And part of this really comes back to your belief system, right? More importantly, your limiting belief. And behind indecision is this unconscious belief that there is such a thing as a right or wrong decision. And yeah, I can hear you already. You're going to go, what are you talking about? Of course there's right or wrong decisions. All right, just stick with me for a minute. Right? Here's what happens. Most of you try and think your way to a right decision. Tell me I'm wrong, right? Should I write this email this way or that way? Should I commit to this event or that event? Should I implement this strategy or that strategy? Should I take on this initiative or that initiative? Should I choose this font or that font? You get my point, right? We are faced with decisions all day long. And we're all looking for certainty that the decision that we're going to make is going to be the right decision. The truth is, though, you're never going to know whether or not you're going to produce the desired outcome. There is absolutely no way for you to know that. And after a certain point, thinking about it in more depth isn't going to help. It's not going to give you any more data, right? Great book written by Malcolm Gladwell a few years ago called Blink, where basically what he proves is the longer that you think about making a decision has very little or any effect on the outcome. So making a snap decision versus thinking 3 days on a decision, the outcome is really different, if any. In fact, even if it is different, that difference is small, right? Infinitesimal is the word I was looking for, right? Really, really small. What it does do is this, right? It keeps you stuck in this sand trap of analysis paralysis. So I remember one of my mentors some years ago telling me that the key to his success, right, was that he made decisions faster than anyone else. In fact, what he said to me was that, listen, James, he goes, a lot of the decisions I've made would have been perceived as wrong based on where that decision or that action was taking me. But here's the thing. He says, as soon as I realized that the course of action that I had chosen wasn't going to get the desired result, he goes, all I did was make a course correction. Right? I just made a slight course correction. What he learned was that by taking the action and just getting on with the damn thing, three things happened. He learned, right? He stayed in momentum, which is absolutely critical, and he kept moving towards his goal, right? So he made a decision, and then he made the decision right. So the basic principle, right, is at work everywhere in the world, right? The same principles at work everywhere in the world. Make a decision and then make the decision right. So if you think about it, right, here's a stat, and this blew me away. An aircraft, for example, right, doesn't fly from one destination to another in a straight line. In fact, if you look at a cross-country flight, an aircraft will course correct over 12,000 times. 12,000 times. Now, we're not saying that you're going to have to course correct 12,000 times, but you might have to course correct 1, 2, 3, or 4 times. The problem is that most of us are waiting to take action, right? Until we've got this perfect flight plan, right? The perfect solution complete, and almost in total knowledge of the exact right decision. While we ignore the fact that everything changes once you're in the air, right? We forgot the only way to get to a destination is by staying in motion. Doesn't matter if it's a straight line. It's never a straight line, in fact, right? There's always going to be curves. There's always going to be changes to the way that we're going. So this limiting belief that there's a right or wrong decision is what's keeping you stuck in indecision and wasting valuable time. In fact, I'm going to go so far as say, I believe that that's the real reason that most of you are not as far along as you should be. It's this indecision. You're taking way too long to make decisions and take action. Right? So the problem, I think, isn't the choice you make or the direction you go or the strategy that you're going to execute, guys. I think the problem is indecision itself. If you realize that every decision gets you a step closer to your goals, right, you can stop obsessing about the right and wrong. Just get back. Take consistent action. So I think that's how you create extraordinary results, and I think that's how you do it in a really, really short amount of time. I'm going to tell you that from my experience, because I was a guy that would procrastinate on decisions. I learned that the faster that I could make a decision, the faster I could get to my goal, even if that decision had to be corrected somewhere along the way. Now, does this sound simple? Kinda, yeah. Is it harder than it sounds? Absolutely. No doubt, right? It's harder than it sounds. Does it work? You better believe it, right? You better believe that this works. It just takes practice, right? It just takes a lot of practice. And the best way to practice is just do it. Start looking at your decision-making process, right? If you want to get some data just to help you make decisions faster, ask yourself the question. On the decisions that I took a long time to make, what was the outcome? Like, what really happened in that decision? And if I had just made a snap decision, would that outcome have been any different? Probably not, right? Probably not. But the snap decision means that instead of taking 4 days, you do it in 4 minutes. Then you course correct. Then you make the slight adjustments. All right? It's almost, again, as an analogy, if you look at a sailboat, right? Sailboats don't like making sharp turns. So what do? Right? They make very, very slight course corrections to deal with the wind. So guys, that's the message. Stop obsessing over indecision, because that's the problem. That's what's holding you back. That's why you're not as far along as you could be. Start making decisions faster, course correct on the way, and you're going to make progress a damn sight faster. All right, so listen, guys, hope that was helpful. I'm going to be excited for the next episode. And yeah, if you've any comments, let me know. Any feedback, love to hear it. I want to know that you're making decisions faster and that your decisions are getting course corrected and you're getting to your goals much sooner than you would normally do. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. And hey, we'll be back here next week, same time. Take care. Bye.